Bad. Oh, check out this image.
This is not a boat.
This is not a boat. This is the basement of your parents' house.
That's the basement of my parents' house.
Success
Welcome.
In life, Ryan.
I'm in the basement.
All right. Where else would we be than the basement of your parents?
Well, maybe on a cold boat, but it's very cold outside here. So, yeah.
Oh, hi, Jane. And Mark, because I assume that Mark is with you. Fun. So everybody, welcome to this live session from Iowa, where we are
preparing for blizzard.
That's right. Did you go out in the blizzard?
It's not bad yet.
Yeah. What time does it hit?
Well, the snow's coming tonight, apparently, here in Iowa, as it's coming across much of the United States. It's coming tonight, and then the winds are supposed to pick up. The winds are picking up like early morning tomorrow, like 50 knot winds, something crazy. So we're supposed to have a -30, -40 wind chill.
Yeah. So
we're very much looking forward to that.
For all of you wondering, -40 degrees, is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Well, it doesn't matter because -40 is where Fahrenheit and Celsius meet. So it's the same thing. Woohoo! Bet you didn't know that one. So we are in Iowa for now, taking a break.
Not really. We're taking a boat break. We are working our butts off, and that's why you haven't heard from us in a while. So
that's right.
We are not on the boat, which is good because the boat needed a break as well. It needed to get out of the water and dry. The surveyors recommend that the boat dries out at least once a year. It's good for the fiberglass, apparently. So it hasn't been out of the water in 2 years. So we thought, well, this was a good year to do that, and it gives us a little break. And this is our new crew member, for those who haven't met. This is little Barnacle, who just got done peeing on the carpet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we failed in potty training tonight. And so...
Oh, come on. But give her credit. She really doesn't have a lot of accidents. She's doing really well. This was a really good time for us to take a break because we have been on the boat for a long time. Like in the last 2 years, we've been a lot of the time, and it's healthy to take a break now and then. Have ever lived on a boat before? You know that it's nice now and then to go back on land, reconnect a little bit with flushing toilets and dishwashers. Flushing toilet with a button, and and go back to the boat refreshed. This was great timing because we have the time to educate Barnacle a little bit. She was only 2 months old when we got her. She's now 4, and she's going to be 6 by the time we come back. So a little bit more mature.
We hope. Maybe we will be a little less immature.
Apparently, we have a little bit of video freezing.
Oh.
Oopsie. Oh no, we're breaking up.
Oh.
Is there anything that we can do on the internet side?
Let me try something. Yes. I have an idea.
Okay.
We'll heat up the Starlink dish.
In the meantime, oh my God. Sam and Sydney are here. Hey, AOT. And hello, Susan. Oh, and Heidi and Franny are here, and Alan and Larry and Tammy is here too. Oh, it's so good to see you guys. Yoo-hoo! So many people. Hey. It's been a while after we arrived in the United States. Okay. Stream is lost. Check internet. Seems okay now. All good now. Get nothing. Whoopsie. Getting video, but the sound is not happening? Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. I will.
I just turned the Starlink heating on, so maybe there's some snow on the dish, which is entirely possible. So I just turned the heater on, and hopefully it melts that snow off.
That's right. We are on Starlinks, everybody. Okay. Everybody, no freezing issue. Sound is fine. Seems good now. Okay, great. So let's go back to what has happened in the last... It's been 2 months now that we're in the United States. 2, 3? I don't remember. I've lost track.
Yeah, we've been here 2.5 months.
Yes. And so for you guys who have watched and followed our adventure for a while, you know that it had been 4 years since the last time I had been in the United States. It marked the end of a long struggle with immigration. And I think that after we arrived, I was just ready for a break and put everything behind us. All I wanted, I always told myself that the first thing that I would do when we would arrive in the United States would be to get a puppy. Here, I'm gonna have the camera angle. So all I wanted for the first couple of months was to just forget about immigration and snuggle with my puppy. And it's been amazing. It's been super great. But also I realized that I was probably a lot more burnt out than I realized.
Yeah, I think we both were.
Yeah. At the very same time, there were so many things happening for us professionally. So we've talked about this big course that we just launched with Bright Trip. It launched yesterday, and it was such a huge post-production process. So to catch up, people who may not know about this, a year ago, we started working on a course for beginners who would want to sail the world as a lifestyle. Doesn't matter if it's full-time, part-time, what your ambition level is, where you want to sail. We just wanted to put out a course for beginner that teaches the basics of sailing the world, right? Like what's sailing mean? How do you learn? How do you build up experience? A little that's really important. And then to what are the different kinds of boats and how do you buy a boat, but on a big level, for people who want to get into this lifestyle, what equipment is, and then we go into more like navigation. What is maritime navigation? How to read a nautical chart, basics of working with a paper chart, checking in and out of countries, weather. How do you check the weather? So it's been a huge project. We've divided it in 3 parts. Part 1 launched yesterday. It was such a huge effort. Took a team of over 10 people. We were 2 writers, few producers, 6 editors. And I think that we're still all working really hard because we're making sure that now that it's launched, everything is good, everything is fine. So it launched yesterday, and for the last month, we've just been focused on that. We've also launched a new website because with the new course and Ryan's t-shirts, who also launched, we had a new website. I mean, it's been a lot. And I know that for you guys following the adventure, you probably haven't heard much, but behind the scenes, there was so much happening. Sophie looks awesome. Thank you so much. I did my hair before. I took a shower for you guys. Streaming is okay. Some bad moments, but everything is working fine. All right. Well, I guess that the replay is not going to be amazing to watch, but for all of you guys here, it's going to be a good time. It's good to have you here. Barnacle is biting the cable. You know what? So I published a video a couple of days ago about the course and the launch and how we wrote it and everything. And I wanted to have Barnacle with me because Ryan was not in the house when I filmed this, and I wanted to supervise her. And I was recording myself and talking, and I was like, Barnacle is really quiet. And then I looked down and she was chewing on the cable of my lavalier microphone, and I had to re-record that entire video. That was a good time. Yeah,
good shot.
I can't get over Sophie's glasses. Well, me neither. And I cannot live without them now. Yay. Another thing that's happened is that I realized that we've been sailing for 5 years, sailing total 8. And so it means that I'm 8 years older than when we get the idea. And that hits hard. I now have gray hair. They did not exist before we started sailing. Okay, when will I see polysail in Lake Ontario? I think that's a good.
Well, okay, so we talked about the course.
Okay, a little bracket here. For the coming 3 days, so until Christmas, there is an early bird offer on the course. Don't miss it if you're interested. I think that it goes from $160 to $128. It's a really good deal because it's a really good course.
Oh yeah,
do not miss that before we move on to other things. Do not miss it. Do not miss the early bird. It's a great course. We're so proud of it. It's like
just go to brighttrip.com/sailing. We'll put it in the the notes in the chat if you're interested. It's pretty cool. The other big thing is we have a new website now, just launched the other day.
Yeah, I'll put it.
Also very exciting. We'll put that in there. And what's very exciting about that is the t-shirts I have been designing and that you've seen in all the videos the last 2 years.
Are you wearing one right now?
I am. I'm not sure this one's in there yet. This is
No, it's not. It's the whale.
This is my whale eating a sailboat t-shirt.
Oh, that was a nice Superman moment. Yeah, good job. Okay.
We don't need to see that. Yeah, so that's on there, and we've got just the website's just awesome.
All right, I'll put the link in there if you want to see. Ryan, it's ryanandsophie.com if you are interested.
And they put the Bright Trip link too.
Yes, and the Bright Trip link. We're putting all the links in the chat because I have not put them in the description. Brighttrip.com/sailing. Ta-da! Take it off, Ryan. Take it off.
Yeah, so we'll be so that's like the stuff we've been working on now. There's a few other things. I've been talking about this a long time. My book is done. My illustrator
talk about your book. What is your book?
Okay, so I've been working on a book for the last few years, but I've just been very slow about making good decisions in sailing.
Okay.
So it all comes from my background as a pilot, where they do a lot of work in risk management and critical or like single and crew. What am I trying to say? Risk management and good decision-making skills. So I've taken a lot of that and I've tried to apply it to what we've learned over the years on a sailboat, and I wrote a book about it. I think it's pretty good. The issue is I need some illustrations done, and my illustrator got ill, fortunately, a few months ago, and I just haven't found somebody that it's also
nobody can replace her because she's
the same illustrator that helps me do all my t-shirts design. So I really trust her. I love her. She's also a cruiser and a sailor, but she's unfortunately a bit ill at the moment. So the book's been on hold, but we've been trying to get that done.
And for everyone who's like, oh my God, what would Ryan write a book about risk management in sailing? You're just a sailing YouTuber, because we see this coming. A risk management consultant in aviation and teaching courses about it, and we always found that there lacked a good resource for beginners, but also cruisers that have experience to concretely base their decision on. And maybe you've watched some of the risk management stuff that Ryan has done on the channel, which was very high level. This book is a little more in detail, so we're excited about it.
It's been a long time coming, and I am not a good writer, so I had to get some help with the editing and things. But the ideas are all good and the concepts are good, just some structure.
I want Sam and Sydney. Sam said, Sydney, you are too good for this course. You're going to find it boring because you know how to sail. You know the physics of sailing. You know safety. You know boats. You know the different parts of boats. You know how to buy a boat because, you have one. And then you know everything about water makers, dinghies, power systems. What else is it that we talk about?
All that fun stuff.
Equipment, safety equipment, communication. You know all those things. So I think that it's going to be a little overkill for you. But if you end up been doing it for a while, so I think that you would have a great feedback on it.
That'd be great. So these are all the projects that we have, plus just normal jobs. Somebody asked about the battery business. It's doing very well.
Let's talk about Dakota Lithium. How is Dakota Lithium these days?
It's good. People are buying batteries, although it's a bit of recession time. We have some fun high-density batteries coming out now, some dual-purpose, some starter batteries, shameless plug. So
it's not a shameless plug because we're actually going to put them on the boat, and I think it's a very interesting technological development. So let's talk about that.
So I just got bit.
Oh no, but
it may be time for her to go
Barnacle has a project chewing on this toy.
That's Lambie. We have developed a starter battery, a lithium starter battery. So it's a dual purpose battery, and they're also very dense. So we actually have a 280 amp hour battery that is about the same size as our old 100 amp hour battery. So they're like 3 times the density. And this spring, we are going to take all the lead acid batteries off the boat. So the starter battery and the bow thruster batteries, and everything's going to be lithium. We're going to replace the 170s with 280s. And what's exciting is another project I've been working on is I am going to take my ABYC electrician's test.
Are you working on that, Lemmy, too now?
Yeah. So I've been doing ABYC, which for those who don't know is the American Boating and Yachting Council. They have an electrician's course. I've been doing that. So we're going to rewire all of Polar Steel in the spring and make it very nice and how it should be instead of how I've been doing it over the last few years. So it's been a learning process. So a lot is happening. And then Sophie and I are also doing our Yacht Master certification right now.
Yes.
Well.
Oh, I guess, yes. We are doing our Yacht Master. Why? Well, you ask. Well, there is no particular reason. We just, we have accumulated all this experience now. And I think that we probably want to make it a bit formal. We have no ambition to commercialize our sailing skills or our sailing or places on our boat. We just feel like we kind of want like that stamp of approval. For me, at least, that's why I want to take it. I feel like in the world, people are like, Sophie is just the person making the video, but I'm a good sailor. It's just that nobody gets to see me sail because nobody films me when I sail. Anyways,
I try. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah. Steve Borscht. Hey, hi, Steve. How's it going? Can we give the course as a Christmas gift? Absolutely. You completely can. There is no like physical gift card, but I think that what I've done for a person who I'm not going to name because it's a surprise for their partner is that I have sent a physical card from us with a little written note to say, hi, it's so fun that you're taking the course. So if you want to do that and you're buying the course for somebody and you would like me to write a little note and send an envelope to put under the Christmas tree, I can do that. I'm not going to be able to do that 100 times. So, but let me know if there is somebody in your life who think that it would be fun to get a little card from us under the Christmas tree together with our course. We're happy to do this.
Yeah. So okay. Just back up a sec. So we're doing all those things now, but in the spring, we are planning on heading to do a mini American loop. So we're going to head from Annapolis up to the New York Canal system and go through the Hudson and the Erie Canal into Lake Ontario. And that I don't think the canal's open until May, like early part of May. So we wouldn't be able to like get up that way because a few people have asked when we'll be in Lake Ontario, but it would be in May sometime. So we'll head up that way. We'll start working on the boat in March. And then probably later in April, we'll start heading up north. And then from there, we will spend some time in Lake Ontario, head out the St. Lawrence down around Nova Scotia, and then I don't know, either back into the Chesapeake, or if we don't want to do another cold winter, we'll head to like Puerto Rico because we need to log some time in the United States, and that would allow us to do that. So yes, we'll still try to get to the boat show next year. We had a lot of fun this year for those who were there.
Sam, it was such a honestly, the Annapolis boat show was such great fun. I had such a good time. I hope that next year I can bring back some more Swedish candy because that was a good time too. I heard that a lot of people enjoyed them a lot. But yeah, we're gonna try to do that. And yes, Todd, I completely agree with you. It doesn't hurt to have some accreditations. I just we have sailed a lot, you and I. I mean, and there's always going to be somebody who has more experience than you and who's better than you at everything. And honestly, when it comes to sailing and learning, but you and I have accumulated quite a bit of experience at this time. And I feel like it's time to take our Yacht Master.
Yeah, we've kind of just been shying away from it. The other thing I'll mention, I know there's not a lot of people from Europe, but I did see a few on the chat. We will be at the Dusseldorf Boat Show for at least the start of it. Maybe not the first weekend, but at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe part of Sunday, maybe part of Thursday. We're not quite sure.
This is an announcement. We are going to the Dusseldorf Boat Show. We're going to try to organize a Patreon meetup in Dusseldorf. We tried doing that in Annapolis. It worked for the most part. but
it was very uncoordinated.
We can do better.
We can do better.
So in Düsseldorf, we're gonna do an official patron meeting. Try to, I don't know, organize some dinner. Go drink some beers because we're in the right country for that. So
so we'll be there, and then we will also be at the Miami Boat Show in February. At least that's what we're planning on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, doing some other fun things there. We haven't quite got all that figured out, but we will be there. So anyone down in Florida didn't get a chance to go to Annapolis, we'll be there, and we'll try to organize something there as well.
Yeah. So yes, Travis, meetups on the East Coast of the US. There's going to be the Miami Boat Show. I don't know. Maybe we'll have time to do a little something in the Chesapeake.
I'm sure we'll do that. Yeah.
We can, like, if people are interested in meeting us in the Chesapeake, I mean, hell yeah, let's go to the pub and catch up. It's fun. When I look at your dog, I can't help thinking of your mini washing machine. Oh, Barnacle.
She's such a cutie. She's super smart too. We've been taking her to puppy classes. We're like super focused on puppy classes, and our instructors are awesome because they know she's going to live on a boat. So like today we were modifying some stuff to kind of meet the boat life, which isn't the house life. So that's been really fun. She's been doing great. But yeah, okay.
So Pete Souza asked when we're coming to Lake Ontario. So let's talk about 2023 a little bit. Because...
I just did that.
Oh.
I just
yeah. No, you said. Okay, yeah, no, you said that. That's right. Okay, yes. So we are going to Lake Ontario. We're going to be in Lake Ontario this summer. We're excited about that.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's pretty, we got a lot of stuff planned because we're going to do, it's not a refit of the boat per se. We're going to put another coat of anti-fouling on, which that will be the first time we've done that since we put the original on. We're also going to do the whole electric, like I was explaining, which is going to be just a big project. And then we've had some stuff just break as it breaks, and it's going to require a little bit of work. So yeah. And I mean, if anybody, we haven't really talked about this, but if anybody is interested in coming out to the boat while we're doing those projects and seeing, if you don't have experience working on boats and you want to get a little bit of experience doing it, like, you're welcome to come out and just like help us out and see and stuff.
Oh my God.
I know that Andy and me have done that on Eastbjorn.
Refit parties?
Yeah, refit parties. And
do you want to? Okay. So this year, we're redoing our battery bank and we're redoing the wiring. I don't know. If anyone comes and wants to have a look at the electric system, we'll definitely beers and pizza on us.
Okay, we got a question here from Lewis. Any thoughts of a new boat, catamaran? We, in all full transparency,
we would love to.
We have talked about when like Polar Seal's time is up, and we've been talking about it more and more lately. And that's not saying that we are going to quit sailing. In fact, quite the opposite. We have some big plans, but we are not sure. We're still trying to decide when that time. We're still trying to decide when that time is. And then further to that, we don't know what the next boat is because we're still kind of trying to decide what our like 3-year plan is, because we can go and all of those ways. There's different boats that would kind of benefit those different paths. So I think we have like some decisions to be making. But a lot of it comes down to just pure finances and where we are.
It's all going to depend on how many courses we sell. No, I'm kidding. It's the course is definitely not going to buy us a new boat. But we feel that, we've been owning Polar Seal for 7 years at this point. It's a long time to own a boat. And Mark, you're absolutely right. It's such a badass boat. This boat,
it's going to be even more badass in the spring because it's going to be a totally global boat. It's going to be able to do both 110 and 220 volts and have plugs for both. It's a big project. I want to do it just to see how it works.
It says our internet connection is unstable. Oh, that's why we're on land, to have a stable connection. Oh no.
Do you guys hear us at all?
Yeah, I see stuff in the chat.
So there, I think we're back. So Yeah, so like it is a badass boat, and I'm kind of sad that it's not like bigger because we would just keep it forever. But it's the size thing that it's the size thing that's just killing us right now.
Size is the only thing on the boat that you cannot retrofit, and we have been feeling in the last year that polysil is really starting to become small for us. We want to have the comfort of size, especially now that we have the floof. Hey floof. Oh, you love your boat, do you? Oh yeah. Oh no. So we need a bigger boat. With that being said, there is, when you buy a boat, there is always the dream, right? Like you make a list of everything that you want, you check out boats, and then you narrow it down to one or two makes that you want, and you're like, I can't afford that. For us, there are some boats that we dream of having, but realistically, I don't think that if tomorrow we upgraded, we couldn't. I think that the best thing that we can do is probably to get just a bigger Benito, a bigger version of what we have, which is fine. I mean, it's a good boat. We're very happy with our boat. She's taken us through a lot and to fantastic destinations. Oh, thanks, Larry, for the super chat. Yay! So we're very happy, but realistically, I don't think that we could do more advanced than a bigger version of what we have. Yeah, which is not a womp womp. The day that we get another boat, it will be great. The dilemma that we have is with equipment, because as you said, Mark, our boat is so well equipped, and if we get bigger, we will probably not start off with the level of equipment that we have, and so we're going to need to do a lot of retrofit to make her,
which is fun.
As comfortable.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's always what you say.
My level of swearing and frustration has gone down dramatically in the last years. Now I like really enjoy it. So somebody asked about a new dinghy, and that's the other thing. Like we want to upgrade our dinghy size a little bit, and that's the plan in the spring as well. So like stay tuned on that a little bit. We're sticking with our Taka Cat. Those guys are awesome. We love the dinghy. We're making some small changes to it, but. We love our dinghy. We're sticking with it, but we might get a little bit bigger one. So
thanks for the super chat, Joe. And also, okay, so Joe, I think that you are the Joe who came to Iowa 4 years ago when we had a little meetup in Des Moines. And I think that we're going to try to organize another little meetup stay tuned for that. And thanks for the super chat. And you're right, Todd. Boat jobs add to the drama we all stay tuned for. There is good drama, and then there is like the drama I like to avoid. And yeah, I don't know. But I'm excited for the level of comfort that we're going to get when... with that said, we're going to have 1,000 amp hour of battery. What are we going to do with that? We have 680, and that's plenty already. I don't know what we're going to do with that.
I think what we know is whoever buys the boat next is going to get an awesome boat. And they're going to love it. And it's going to be a great ocean cruiser.
Whoever gets polysil is going to get, I would argue, probably the Beneteau Oceanis 40 that is the most equipped in the world, I would argue.
Possibly. One thing that we haven't made a video on this, although I did film it all, we just haven't edited it yet, is I re-insulated the entire engine compartment with super thick insulation, and it's like top, I don't know, I got it from somewhere. And you weren't around when I did that project.
Yeah.
Which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But what did you think? Did it make the engine compartment quieter?
Yes, It was incredible. Okay, so this is part of the videos that I need to now work on. Somebody yesterday asked us in the comment section of the videos if we continue to vlog.
We just haven't had the time.
I just haven't had the time. Our editor was working on the course. It's really taken
pulled everybody onto the course.
The course has really taken all of our resources. So we hope that it goes somewhere, that it's appreciated, that it helps a lot of people. But yeah, so we haven't had. But yes, so you have read on the installation of the engine compartment ahead of our season of motoring. Oh, Heidi and Franny, thanks for the super chat. It's so sweet of you. Oh, thanks, ladies. Also, I didn't see the little message from Larry earlier, buy a shovel on me. It's funny. But yeah, so the installation of the engine compartment was awesome. I came back to the boat, we fired up the engine, and immediately I could hear like this. It's so different. So high five, good job, thank you.
Yeah, so we did some fun projects, and first off, I'll stop for a sec. I'm sorry for the audio and video problems. It's out of our control a bit. There is a storm going on outside,
Yes.
and I imagine with our satellite internet, it's kind of affecting things. So maybe we won't stay on for a full 2 hours because it might just get annoying to people.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on. So sorry.
Yeah. And Sailing with Scott, we are broadcasting from Iowa, which is being hit by a blizzard tonight. So, thanks, Louis. It's really nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Future. So, for us, it's okay. It's been a rough year in terms of the time and resources that we had to dedicate to YouTube. It's been difficult for us in terms of our life challenges with immigration, with having to relocate me for so many times. What's up with
this little thing?
Oh yeah, well, but she's not a challenge. She's great. I love her so much. My floof. You're so great.
It was amazing how much work she was when we got her back to the boat, because we were living with her on the boat for a month, trying to get her used to it.
But anyway, so it's been a challenging year, and we have not been able to publish one video a week as I normally do when we sail. But in terms of, I've heard a lot of people saying that they see a decline in engagement, in revenue. This last year, I did something awesome for myself, which is that I started consulting on the side of YouTube, which is also a time investment, which sometimes takes me away from YouTube. But financially, it makes us less dependent on YouTube. And it's a great place to be, because it means that we get to focus when we do YouTube, and when we do projects related to our sailing, we can do it with passion without being like always financially tied to it. For a lot of people who do YouTube is sometimes their sole source of revenue. And I feel like it's such a difficult place to be, because you put all your eggs in the same basket. It's all of your lifestyle that goes into it. Your income is tied to your lifestyle. And it's not a place where we want to be. We want to do anything sailing content related with passion, with motivation. And so you do your job with Dakota Lithium, which is full-time. I'm the one doing most of the content creation. And I've been so happy this year to not have to worry too much about YouTube and revenue, because I have the consultancy, but also I've been able to focus on creating this course, which has taken so much of my time. So yes,
I think we also learned that we really like, I mean, as a lot of you know watching the channel, like we really like to educate. We like to teach people the experience that we have and help other people like follow the dreams that if their dreams include sailing or whatever their dream is. And so we just learned a lot in this process in the last year. And I think that we both feel very passionate about continuing that journey of like educating more versus we'll still keep doing lifestyle, keep showing our journey on YouTube.
Because we like it. I enjoy vlogging, I enjoy connecting, I enjoy photography and filmmaking. But we're also really, you and I love teaching. My consultancy job is actually creating courses. Like companies hire me to create courses, and even in some cases to teach their employees to create courses. So it is literally my job to teach. And you were a trainer in aviation. So like you were in both.
I was a flight instructor, and I did work with IATA, if you know that organization.
Yeah.
So we just like teaching, and we found there's just this like, I think there's a niche in the sailing world of not just learning how to sail, but like all the other aspects of it. And we like doing it. So we're going to try to do more of that, I think, in the next years. We're not going to start our own sailing, school. That's not what we like. I do not want to start a sailing school, but doing more content creation around education, I think for us.
Yeah. And we've still bad jokes, because that's great. Simon Sydney, thank you so much. You guys. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks guys. That's awesome.
It's really nice. I'm so happy that we get to meet this year. We get to meet on this on the Woodwind schooner Woodwind. It was a great time in Annapolis.
We there's been some questions about the dog. So we did take Barnacle. Is Barnacle Bilge Ellison Darcy?
He's the child, okay?
Or the child, or the floof, as the
floofer,
as we call it.
Sometimes when she's naughty, he's mother floofer.
Yeah. We took her out sailing probably 4 or 5 times in the Chesapeake. It wasn't like overnight. It wasn't long sails. She slept most of the time, as she does in the plane and as she does in the car. So we're hopeful that she'll be okay. One of the times it was pretty choppy, and she was up and like a little bit more. She was like up and a little bit more alert, I would say. But we've gotten like her exposed to a lot of stuff in her like non-fearful stage. We did a lot of training with that, like just exposing her to everything. And so I think she is not afraid of a lot. And if she is, she is very curious, so she calms down quick.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful that it's all going to be okay. But the nice thing with our next year's plan, it doesn't include a lot of ocean passages, at least initially. So we'll be able to like ease her into it and still have stops where we can get her on shore. And that was kind of the whole thinking behind next year's plan was.
Oh, he's thirsty.
Around her. Oh, I have water.
You have all right. So for now, he doesn't get seasick. Another big. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Do you guys hear our dog?
So we don't have a baby yet, but we kind of do.
Yeah. Why did you say we don't have a baby?
We don't have a baby, and we won't. But,
okay, guys, this is the moment we tell you. I mean, we are child-free by choice. We will not have kids. This is, it's a decision that not a lot of people talk about. A lot of people make big announcements when they get children, and for us, we have decided that we were not going to get kids because it just doesn't. It's not something that we want in life. We're so happy with the life that we created, and we love our dog, but we decided we're not going to have kids. And nobody makes announcements about, oh, hi, look, guys, we're going to be child-free. So, yeah. So, now you know.
Todd just asked about something about the dog. So Sophie does a lot of the grooming with the dog. She brushes her and trims her and does all that stuff and buys her fruit. So, yes.
We got to maintain the fruit.
It's good because it takes the focus off me a little bit. I could just be left alone. So Rodney asks, is the water maker still working fine? It is. Yes, it's still
awesome. It's still one of the best things that we have. And when we get Polar Seal number 2, I don't think that we'll get any other water maker than the one that we have because it's so great. It's simple. It works. When we need replacement parts or maintenance parts, we can get them anywhere. It's cost efficient. I mean, it is literally the best thing. So we love it.
See, James, the Sailorman's on. If anybody, I'm a shameless plug again.
Is James here?
Yeah. If anybody needs a good solo channel to watch, James, Sailorman. We've never met in person, but we talk a lot.
Yes.
And he has done some pretty magnificent
I
solo Pacific crossings. Pretty envious and jealous. So he's got a good channel. Check him out. He's a really good guy as well.
And Ronaldo is here too. Hi, Ronaldo. It's good to see you. Okay.
What else? Let's see.
Dogs are easy to bribe with food. Oh, this one is very easy to bribe with food.
I am also easy to bribe with food.
Not as much.
If it's pizza.
It has to be pizza. So it's not that easy. I mean, granted, it's pretty easy to find. Okay. You guys are dinks.
Double income, no kids. Except we have a boat.
No, exactly. So dinks works first off when you have 2 full incomes, and in full disclosure, this year with a lot of investment of my time, and we've made a lot of investment in other things for our sailing. My income has been so, but it's getting there. I feel like I'm climbing.
Yeah.
Right. I need to this year. I really need you. I need to start saving for retirement. It's been since 2017 that I haven't saved for retirement, and it's not good.
Our retirement is in that boat.
Yes, even people who live on boats need to save for their retirement. the you only live once is nice, but also I would like to have a retirement one day where I don't have to ask myself if I need to go back to work.
Yeah. What other exciting?
Damn, we're talking about a lot of things.
We
today.
have a lot of exciting things, but some of them we unfortunately can't talk about yet. So there's we're like feeling jazzed, energized, but also tired and a lot of work.
I mean, you guys, I don't think that I can put in words how excited I am that the course is out.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with the course is it's just the first part of 3 parts.
Yes. So what
was the first part? How long? This 184 minutes, the first part?
147.
140. It's 150 minutes, the first part. And then there'll be 2 more parts that are almost as long. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so now we have to go through the post-production process of part 2 and part 3. And part 2 is cool because it's a lot about navigation, weather, and passage planning. And I think that this one it's great. I'm so excited about this part. It's because I love that it puts sometimes it's not complex navigation concept, but it can be very intimidating to look at a nautical chart and be like, all right, now we're going to plot a course and we're going to have to calculate distances and speeds and course to steer, etc. It can be very intimidating, but I feel that the way that we've written it and with the graphics and the animation, it's going to be so great and for beginners. Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so good.
Peter, thanks for the super chat. Yes. We had another super chat we didn't say thanks for
that retirement. All right.
Peter.
Peter. Don't invest in GameStop.
You did too. Thanks. Yeah, we won't invest in GameStop. It's just a weird time because we haven't taken this much time off the boat together pretty much ever.
No, that's not true. COVID.
No, but that's true.
We need COVID. COVID got us off the boat.
COVID forced our hand on that one, though. This is a voluntary thing.
It's true. Yeah, so. COVID was and it was also very special because when we left the boat during COVID, I wasn't even sure that I wanted to go back because we had I had a very hard time.
Does the course teach Mediterranean mooring? That's a good question.
It does not.
Did not cover that.
No.
What we tried to do.
It's a beginner's course. All right.
What we tried to do is keep it the premise behind it was to teach you the things that you don't know so you can go learn them better.
Yes.
So we give you you need to think about this and this is how we look at that. And, there are some very specific things, but we tried not to go down the road of very specific topics because you could do a whole course on anchoring and mooring alone. That's just the same length. So if we would have done that, the whole thing would have just gone massive and we would have never finished it.
This is what we wanted to have when we were beginner ourselves. So, okay, this is a boat. This is how it works. This is what you do with it. Those are the necessary maneuvers that you do on the boat, and this is how it works. And it's high level. This is the equipment. This is how you buy it. These are resources for buying a boat when you don't know what you're doing. We talk about what to think about when you buy a brand new boat, what to think about when you buy a used boat. I even put you guys our survey, so the survey of our boat in the course, because when you're completely new to boat buying and boats in general, it's just so good to have a reference for what to expect out of a survey. And our surveyor was amazing. And
the first one.
Yeah, the first one. When we bought Polar Seal. And thanks to that survey, we were able to understand what maintenance we needed to do, what items needed to be checked, and when. It was so good and so detailed. So I put it in the course for people to understand, well, this is a survey. This is, So it's a resource for beginners. So we don't go into big details like how to choose an anchor, like what are the different types of anchor, or med mooring. We just talk about, okay, this is anchoring, this is mooring.
I think there's a lot of potential to do more of that stuff, more in depth. And that's kind of what we were trying to say is that we really like doing it. And we just see a big potential for more of that.
Yeah.
And now that we're just getting some experience with that, I think we want to continue because it just fits in with the life very well.
Yeah.
And then I think doing more We still do YouTube, but more documentary, longer format stuff as well. That's really nice. We have some ideas for a few things coming up.
You do.
I have ideas.
Ryan has ideas. He just doesn't have the filming.
I need help. I have ideas. I've got a vision. It's like my t-shirts. I've got a vision. I don't know how to draw. So I need somebody to help take my vision and do something with it.
Ryan was a flight instructor. You could be the kings of sailboat video education.
If anybody on this call comes from the aviation world, there is a couple called the Kings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Called the Kings. So it's not actually like the king and queen. They're actually the Kings is their last name. And they, back before internet and before easy editing, they actually had a whole series of educational videos that you could actually do ground school training with. And you'd watch their videos or then their DVDs, and then it eventually went online. So yeah, we could be like they were old back in my day. Yeah. Like when I was in college. Yeah. So that's like 20 years ago.
The thing is, like I think that at this point we have probably enough experience and knowledge. And we also, that's another very important thing when you create courses is to have the ability to do research and fact checking really well. Yeah. And so at this point, because I am a course creator, that's what I do for a living. You have background as a trainer in aviation, and we have a couple of production skills. And also we happen to meet people who wanted to help us produce the course, the Bright Trip team. Let's not forget about them because this course would have not existed without them.
That's right.
And
yeah.
they were great.
Yeah.
And I've lost my train of thought. This is
people say we look relaxed, but maybe we're too relaxed.
Yeah, no, the kings of sailboat. I don't think that we could do very advanced stuff.
I think we need to. I think we could do some advanced stuff, but I think we also know that we don't know everything. No sailor does. No pilot does.
And if somebody tells you they do, run away. Run away. It's
so
bad.
We want to make sure we're out. We keep going out and sailing and keep learning and keep understanding and keep figuring out.
And we have our own projects and places where we want to go and our own cruising plans and dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
Beyond professional projects. The problem that we have, Ryan and I, is that we are cursed with entrepreneurial ambition. We can't
stop.
we love doing shit. We love doing stuff.
We get an idea and we want to try it and do it, and then we have 5 things going on, and
now we have 5 full-time jobs. So we need to find a way to balance.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay. Anyways, now we've talked about ourselves for a long time.
So what about you guys? Do you have questions? Do you have Christmas plans? Do you have sailing plans for next year?
Are you guys in the blizzard as well?
Are you also in the blizzard? What's the cost of the whole course? So the whole course right now today is $130.
But it's not the whole course.
Oh yeah, sorry. Part 1, which is out today, is $130. It will go up to $160 in a few days. But each part is going to be roughly around that $150, $160. So the whole course is like $450. Yes. But there's the specials and early bird things.
And also I think that the plan is for people who have bought a part, they get a discount for the next one. So it's not like each part lives in a vacuum. Initially, we intended on launching this course as one big thing with all the 8 chapters and 37 lessons, but it wasn't just not manageable in terms of the post-production. If that had been the case, I don't think that we could have launched before, I don't know, like April of next year. So we had to divide it in 3 parts and then lower the price because, this is probably not what I think intended on selling it for initially. But it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's a reasonable price.
We think it's pretty fair, and there's a lot of work that went into it. So there's a question. Somebody Sailing Cambio said the solo crossing I did was the best training experience they've seen. I actually have a project going on right now where we're going to take that whole trip and make it more into a documentary. It's going to be it's going to be different than the YouTube videos you put out. We just, again, don't have time. We've started it. We pulled editors onto other projects. But that's in the start of the new year. We have an ambition to do that. I think that the vision behind it, again, is really cool. I need some help executing it.
Yeah.
So excited there. We also I have this grand vision. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to do a documentary or a short film on the hurricane hunters. So those who don't know, the hurricane hunters are part of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the Air Force, and they fly C-130s into hurricanes, and they take the wind readings so that all of us sailors or people that are on the ocean know where the storm's going and how strong it is, and can get information back to forecasters. And I think it's really important, and it's this like very cool thing. And there is some documentaries out about them, but I would love to do one really focused on how it impacts and the work that they do, how it impacts the sailing community. So that's a idea. And I actually have a friend that I was in Air Force pilot training with who is a pilot for the hurricane hunters. So it's like a very cool serendipitous thing.
Yeah.
And I really would like to, we wanted to do it this year. We didn't have the time. I would love to do it next year. So let's see. It was actually cool because when we were in Tropical Storm Alex in Bermuda, just before the storm hit, he had actually flown the hurricane hunter plane into the storm. And then when he landed, he sent me a text and just was telling me what they were seeing just before the storm hit. And it was just that was like a very weird feeling for me that, this person had just flown through the storm that we were getting all kind of psyched up about. And it was fine. It wasn't a full hurricane, but it was good to know that some people had gone out, and because otherwise it's going to hit you in it. It is what it is. So that's an idea that we have. We'll see if we're able to execute next year.
We have lots of ideas. Okay, so we have I think was that Joe and Gary in the hoods in Minnesota and Iowa, also gearing up for the blizzard. Herb, we are in Iowa. Hi, big sailing country. That's where Ryan is from. We are streaming from Ryan's parents' basement. A few years ago, we joked that Ryan would come back home as an unemployed man with his immigrant girlfriend. And a few years later, look at us. It happened. Hi, Martin. Nice to see you here. It's cool. I met Martin in Paris last year.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the comments. A docu-series on drinking margaritas on the beach. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that's kind of the YouTube channel.
That's a good idea.
I would have to take up drinking margaritas, I guess.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we would love to make that hurricane hunter thing happen. I think it would be really cool.
Actually, so the Air Force, somebody just made a comment, like if it's difficult to get on this, the Air Force it's called, they have a web page, you can look it up. It's called Air Force Hollywood. And you go to that page, they have a whole like PR team, and you submit, they're taxpayer funded. So they have an incentive to allow journalists and content creators into different areas. So you submit a proposal to them, and then they will arrange everything if they think that it fits well with the mission and all of that. And so I actually don't even think it's going to be hard for Sophie, because she has a green card now and she's all vetted and everything. And this is more of a civil operation than it is military. So yeah, we've kind of investigated all. We just need to have the time. The problem is we don't know when the storms are coming. So we kind of have to have a few months. And as everybody saw this year, there was like no storms until September, except the one we were in.
Except the one we took frontally.
They were all fish storms otherwise. So so like we kind of have to have a few months blocked off where we're able to just like get somewhere quickly so we can hop on a plane. I think that's going to be the biggest issue, getting to like Puerto Rico or getting to, because they have them like forward deployed, but they move around all the time. So anyways.
So yeah.
There, now you know a lot about how the hurricane.
I'm like this, as always. Those live sessions, they always go in all kind of directions. That's fun. Cool. All right, we've been on for an hour. If you guys have any questions, this is the time that we can go a little wilder in terms of what we answer to, because, well, the nobody watches a replay for an hour, or very few people do. That's everybody. A Dakota Lithium presents film. Why not?
Thanks, Byron.
Oh, is this Byron. The Byron?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Byron.
Sophie, a question for you. Does having a green card mean you have to eat U.S. fast food, or can you keep your eating French gourmet?
So the first thing that we did when we flew in DC, we went to Dallas and then we had to drive to Annapolis, was to stop at Chick-fil-A, which
we got in very late.
Which I heard is one of the gourmet fast food chains here. Yeah, we've been cooking a lot. I've been cooking a lot since we arrived. We've gone to Taco John's too.
I love Taco John's.
Somebody asked if
I'm going to throw this out here again. If anybody works at Taco John's, I would love to get in contact with their marketing group. I would love to discuss partnership potentials. I don't know what that does on sailboats, but
no, just no, absolutely not.
I mean, if you guys ever have a chance, Taco John's is way better than Taco Bell. I just thrown that out there. It's a Midwest thing. People on the coast don't know about it, but I think if they need a little bit more exposure so people understand the greatness.
Oh, Viral Sheets is also experiences the same weather as we have. Have you ever considered creating content regarding the appropriate use of wine in dog management?
In dog management? Like you mean how to deal with it?
Oh, Barnacle.
She's pretty great though.
No, he doesn't drink alcohol. He's a very sober person.
Craig is right. You cannot get good French bread. I have to admit, like traveling and living abroad really broadens your horizons on a lot of fronts. And one of those fronts I was not expecting was on the whole like eating and bread thing. So even living in Sweden, I didn't like really appreciate going to buy a baguette or buying good bread. I would just buy like the easy sliced bread and off I went. And Sophie refused to let me do that. So we used to have the saying when we started dating was no baguette, no dinner. In a French accent, no baguette, no dinner. So then I've obviously gotten used to very good bread. And now that we're back in Iowa, you cannot get...
Honestly,
Hy-Vee's okay, but it's not like...
You guys, if you're in the Midwest, Iowa or Minnesota, Hy-Vee. Awesome. They have good bread. They make good sourdough bread. And I feel like there is no other place that at the supermarket you can find.
There's nothing. And people don't appreciate the good bread.
Edible bread. Okay. Question. Favorite boat builders, boat renovate channel, Odd Life Crafting, no question. But that's probably, we don't watch a lot of other sailing channels, but we meet them a lot and we end up being good friends because I think that, the hallmark of a successful sailing channel is that the people are just genuinely really nice, and that's what makes them successful. And Duca and Roberta are just awesome. We had such a good time meeting them in Annapolis. We hope that we can hang out more with them again because they're so fun. They're really cool.
Bob, thank you for referring people to the Tech Corner. We do plan on doing more Tech Corner stuff.
Yes. Yeah, we have one incoming. One of them is Barnacle.
Tech Corner.
No, we're going to make a video about the monitoring system that we installed on Pulse.
Oh, Barnacle. Oh, yeah.
Which is called Barnacle. It's another Barnacle.
And then let's see, there's another comment I want to make. Oh, Ika, if I say that name right. Top Plains Pizza Sauce and Dough Factory, top-notch pizza in Ames. There's very few people in Des Moines, but I have to tell you guys this. This is a family thing. My sister started dating a guy who owns a pizza place in downtown Des Moines.
Next to Drake University.
Drake University. It's called Dough Company, if you're ever in Des Moines.
Or Doco.
I think it's Dough Company, but
it's the best pizza I've eaten in the United States. Legitimately.
Yeah, in the US.
It's so good.
And they're opening one in Ankeny. So if you're in that region and you know that space, it's good. We go for trivia every Wednesday night there and eat pizza.
Big shout out. And Alec, the owner, is awesome.
Alec has really been welcomed into our family with open arms, at least by me, because he's also a great guy.
Okay. Have you seen people holding chickens on board? Yes. There is a French guy, Guirec Soudret, who had a chicken on board named Monique.
He wrote a children's book about it.
And
then he rode across the Atlantic and didn't go very well.
And we actually have a plant, Monstera, on board that I named Monique after Monique the chicken. And my plant, Monique, is currently in the care of our good friends Chad and Jen in the Chesapeake. Being babysat.
Ronaldo made another comment about there's a YouTuber in Paris that says that US bread should have a different name. So the guy
Johnny.
Johnny Harris, who started Bright Trip, which is the company we did the course with, he does like current event things, and he actually has a YouTube episode where he talks about sliced bread,
about how how the US ruined bread. And
So,
I agree, it did. Like, yeah, bread in the US is just, it's not.
Okay, so let's see here. If we miss a comment, sorry.
Did you guys meet Plucky at Annapolis? Yes, we did.
I was actually just on the phone with Plucky today.
It's true. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Let's see. What's your opinion on Simrad? I can't give an opinion because we've never used Simrad.
You guys, we are Raymarine people through and through. We started with Raymarine because that's what came with the boat, and we just really liked it. And then eventually we became Raymarine ambassadors, and Raymarine now.
Full disclosure.
But
we did that after using and buying a lot of their equipment.
Yeah, because like we have always been big Raymarine people because it's dependable, reliable, it works, user friendly. We love it.
I will say it made my solo trip, that stuff. But a lot of the companies have similar pieces. It's a lot about how it integrates and the user interface and what works for you. But I will say that the Raymarine stuff made my solo trip a lot easier for me and a lot safer. I would really say that. So
yeah, no, it's true. It's it is life changing. And recently we had a couple of friends, my friends Ben and Steve from Canada, who started their own sailing adventure. They came all the way from Hamilton in the Toronto area. Now they are in Florida, I think. No, they're in Charleston, in North Carolina. And they made a detour via the Chesapeake to meet us because their Raymarine equipment was too old and it was starting to fail, as it does after a decade. And we helped them install a whole brand new Raymarine setup. And we told them, like, guys, it's life changing, like new electronics. When you sail so much and you actually go places, it is life changing. And every week, at least twice a week, they're like, oh my God, we found this like function on the radar or on the plotter, and it's great. So yeah, if you sail a lot, having good, dependable electronics, it really changes your life. Okay.
What's our personal...
Sophie let it slip that she's been eating pizza in the US. Yes, I did. It was cheeseless too.
It's good.
It's good. The Doco pizza is the one that I find good.
The dough is good. He spent like a year perfecting the dough.
It's like legit good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What's our personal opinion on the seagulls that make noise at night in the Azores? I don't remember that.
What's that?
Were there seagulls that made a special noise at night in the Azores? I don't remember that. So we don't have an opinion because I don't remember that. But that would probably be annoying. So
I don't remember that. Would you ever consider sailing to the Red Sea?
Yeah, I would. It's a lot safer now, I think. So
maybe.
I think it's hard sailing because most of the time you come up around the Middle East and then up to the Mediterranean, and the winds generally blow south, so it's kind of like beating upwind the whole way. So I don't think it's very fun sailing, but I think we would do it.
Yeah,
we would like to finish the circumnavigation at some point, but don't see. Okay, so this is a question that comes up. This is from Pontoon Rob. So if Sophie's French and Ryan's from Iowa, why is the boat Swedish flagged? That is because we met in Sweden. We're both Swedish citizens, and we bought the boat in Sweden, so we feel a strong connection with Sweden and boating, and that's where we really learned on our own how to do it.
Yeah.
So we leave it Swedish flag. It's special to us to have the flag hanging off the back.
I was 22 years old when I moved to Sweden, so I was a baby. I am 36 now, so it's most of my adult life that I've been living in Sweden, although now it's been 4 years that we live on the boat and we travel the world. So it's not really... Yeah, we have a very strong Swedish connection. We love Sweden. We still have our apartment there, although it's rented out. It's home for us, even though now we've moved to the United States and we're gonna establish a little home base in the Chesapeake. Like we love Sweden. It's Love it. Steve, thank you so much for that super chat. It is a very, very generous super chat. Thanks. And let me know, send me your address if you end up buying the course, because I'll make sure to drop you a little card to put under the Christmas tree.
Brent asked a question about lithium batteries in places that freeze hard. So yeah, that's other than move the boat to where it is. So that is a concern. You don't want to, like, you can actually use them when it's cold. It's charging them below freezing when the cell temperature is below freezing is it works, but it's not good for the cells. So you can actually, some of our newer DL Plus batteries are going to come with heating pads inside, and you can actually buy retrofitted heating things, and all you have to do is just get them warmer below, just above freezing, and that's all you need to do. So that's like the consideration you have to keep in mind. Peter asked if any of us are hockey fans. I am. I went to the University of North Dakota. I did not play hockey because I'm not that good. Played intramural hockey, but I love watching hockey. I don't think you understand hockey.
No.
Sophie's not really a sports person.
Ryan takes me to sport events in the United States without explaining the rules to me. I'm just there for the beer and the giant pretzels. And sometimes they will throw t-shirts at you in the crowd. I found that fun.
Okay, Ron, this is a good question. When buying fishing gear on big water, what are points to look for? I am very opinionated
about this. Let me answer that question.
You do this, and we'll see if we match up.
So on our boat, there's two teams on board when it comes to fishing. Ryan is the maximalist. I am the minimalist. You can catch fish with a nylon line, just a nylon line and a hook and something that shines in the water, and you'll be fine and you'll catch fish. Ryan, on the other hand, likes the expensive rods and the reels.
I just like it because they're cool. But I learned, and I agree with Sophie on this. I think on a sailboat, if you're just trying to keep it easy, like a hand line is the best. We caught something on the big reel. And the problem is, if you're with a whole crew, it's fine because some of your crew can go take down the sails and deal with that while you're fighting the fish. But if you're just shorthanded like Sophie and I, sometimes it's really hard. And inevitably, once you get the fish on the line, the winds are going to pick up and you're going to be doing 7 knots while you're trying to get the fish, fighting the fish while the other person's trying to deal with stuff. And it's just like chaotic. And then so those hand lines will typically catch, maybe a mahi this big. And that's all you need, really. We, coming from Bermuda to the Chesapeake to Annapolis, we caught a swordfish on a hand line, and it broke the hand line right away. And the fish was so pissed off, and that thing was just jumping in the air. And
yeah, I feel bad for the fish.
I do, but so if that would have been on a reel, that wouldn't have broke. The fight for that would have been just massive. We would have probably cut the line anyways. And if we did get it on board, what were we going to do with the fish that big? And I apologize to the sports fishermen in this group, but we find it really sad when these big marlins get caught that are over 500 or 600, 700,000 pounds.
It's not our jam.
And we found out that they don't eat them; they just bait them.
It breaks my heart.
And so we've taken the philosophy that
we fish to eat.
We fish to eat, and so really you don't need more than a hand line and some flashy things. And it seems to work.
I think that one time we caught a shoal of young mahis, which we obviously released, and it was kind of heartbreaking. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys, that disturbed you. Yeah. Okay, well, that was a bit sad. That was a good question.
We've never had that question before.
Somebody asked, the Garmin is ubiquitous innovation. You don't like that for marine? It's just like photography, right? Like you buy into a system when you buy marine electronics. So you get into Garmin, and then they're going to get used to the Garmin interface, to how it connects, to how it works. Same thing with B&G or Raymarine. In photography, I used to be a Canon person. So you buy a Canon camera and then Canon lenses, and then you have all the systems that you work with. For us, it's just, we're Raymarine people. We like it. We just like the system. So we've never felt compelled to look anywhere else.
I think that just like it. Raymarine, all the brands there's always something I could find and say, that's really cool. They're doing something a little different. So there's that part, right? Like I would admit that right away. But yeah,
like
so Sophie said, like, we just really kind of buy into the Raymarine. And I know Raymarine was more in the fishing focused and not so much the sailboat focused, which is more kind of B&G's jam. But I think that's changing in time, and there is a lot more focus going into cruising boats and sailing boats. So we just love it, and it really performed well for me by myself and provided all the tools I really needed. And if it works for one person, it should work for a crew of 10. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. What's Mrs. Ellison making for Christmas dinner? Yeah, Christmas dinner plans. I think we're gonna do a pork tenderloin with some roasted root vegetables. I am going to make a Yule log, or in French, a bûche de Noël. It's like the traditional French Christmas cake. And when we spend the holidays with your family, I always make one.
Yeah, the Yule logs.
And it's been amazing. And it's been 4 years that we haven't been able to.
A few years when Sophie and I first started dating, we had a Christmas dinner at a
big French family.
Big French family. Aww. And she made a Yule log that was so big, I had to go cut a piece of wood and then layer it with tinfoil because the thing was, it was like at least 3 feet. It was a meter long, at least. The thing was so big and it was a massive pain to move, but I had to cut wood for the Yule log. That was funny.
Ooh, this is a great question. What do you feel are the best places in Europe to buy a secondhand boat? It depends what kind of secondhand boat you want. I think that if you're looking at a privately owned boat, I would look at the very big marinas and the cheap marinas in Europe. So that would be, there is one in Sicily. I don't know if it's called Licata. I'm not sure. Almerimar in Spain would be a place where you would find a lot of privately owned boats for sale. So the southern coast of Spain, Malaga, Almerimar, Cartagena, southern Spain. In Greece, there's probably also a lot of really big yards and big marinas where you would find quite a few boats for sale.
The thing you got to watch out for is like Croatia, for example. A lot of the boats coming to Croatia are ex-charter boats, just like in Greece.
Yeah.
So a lot of those boats won't have their VAT paid. So if you're
and also they're ex-charter, so there are considerations.
So if you're a European resident or citizen and you are staying in Europe, you'll have to pay that VAT. So you have to consider that when looking at the price. So on Yacht World, you'll see a lot of like VAT not paid. It might be hidden down there.
Yeah.
And that can add
definitely something
to the cost.
That is definitely something that you want to research, especially. So now there's a new thing with, the UK, because now the UK is out of the EU. And so I think that when you buy,
that's another issue.
Yeah, when you buy a boat that is flagged British, or if you buy in the UK, you have to be extra careful with the VAT.
It's both ways now. So if you buy it if you live in the UK and you're buying it in the UK and it's VAT paid, you're okay. But if you're taking it to Europe because you're a European citizen or resident, you're going to have to pay VAT, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's a big mess. It's like in the courts right now, even I think with the whole VAT with the UK. So it's complicated. So just make sure you watch out for that, because it can that could really sting you.
Yeah. So best place in Europe, that would definitely be, I would say the Med, but don't be afraid to look, to shop around.
There's some good boats up north too, like in the Netherlands and
absolutely.
Germany, and they're really well taken care of, I would say, for the most part up there, because it's not a lot of chartering going on. It's a lot of private owners.
Yeah. So Bros Yacht World.
Yeah. Let's see here. Max speed of polar sail.
Gonna have some surströmming.
Oh God. For those who don't know, surströmming is a Swedish delicacy. It is in a can. It's herring. It's kind of like fermented herring, I guess. In a can.
It's like rotten
fish. And
it gases. It off gases.
So it ends up pressurizing the can.
Yeah, so the can blows up. It kind of
gets swelly. And
it smells like 1,000 toilets that have not been cleaned.
It smells like a sewage treatment plant. Like if you were to put your nose right up in a sewage treatment plant, So you can't open the can inside your home because I'm not joking about this. It
will ruin your home.
It will ruin your upholstery, your drywall. Like,
it is actually forbidden to carry that on flights.
They had an SAS flight where a can blew up years ago, and they had to make an emergency landing, and then they had to tear all the seats out of the plane. And
so, needless to say, there will be no surströmming.
I have had it before. It's not good.
You smell that for days after.
You it gets sweat.
It gets in your sweat. It's just disgusting.
Max speed of polar seal. I don't know. Like, we max cruise at we like to cruise about 6.5, 7. Once we get above 7, we don't really like the feel of it. I've had it up to, we've surfed at 12 or 13, which gets a little exciting. So, yeah.
Perhaps if you do upgrade boats, you can take us through the entire process of selection, survey, sea trial, and plans for upgrade. We would totally do that. But again, the reality is that when you upgrade a boat, usually what you end up doing, we are very satisfied with our boat. The most likely scenario for us, because of our budget range and our income, is that we'll just get a bigger version of what we already have. Because, well, we like what we have. It's great. And if we end up having a little more budget, that would be great. I don't know how that would happen, but if we end up having a little more budget, then yes, we can have a little more interesting section about, what we can get in the price range that we're looking at. But yeah, full disclosure, we bought Polar Steel in 2016 for, at the time, £78,000.
Yeah, it's hard to make a comparison because the exchange rates are all screwy right now.
Yeah.
But £78,000. Yeah.
But so that's,
it's like $90,000, I think, at the time.
The budget that we have at this point for a new boat, that would be under.
We don't have a big budget for it.
Would be maybe 150,000. So it's, which is, okay, it's a lot of budget for a boat, but you also have to understand this is our house, right? Am I backpedaling?
No.
I think it's great talking about prices. We do that a lot in the course, what things cost. But so it would be just a bigger version of what we already have. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Brian opened a can. I think I saw that episode at his mother-in-law's house. She's a very nice lady. We met her at Annapolis.
It is a life experience that you can avoid. Honestly, you will not miss.
I don't know. I think it's just interesting.
What's very fun is to watch other people do it. That's hilarious.
It does smell. I think the reason it tastes bad is just the smell. It's just herring, and what they do is they take one of those cracker bread, the hard knecky bread crackers, and then they put butter on it and some potato and onion, and then you just put a little teeny piece of the fish there. So it's not like you eat it. Like you eat it with some stuff to.
Yeah. Johnny says expedition events, sale a 50-foot Beneteau. Yeah, that's probably what we would end up getting.
Yeah.
So.
Alan, yeah, I'd like to do the boat upgrades over again because.
No.
Hold on, hear me out. So I've just learned a lot through the process. So there's an old saying. They're give your first boat, if you build a boat, give your first boat to an enemy, give your second boat to a friend, take the third boat. And I think there's some truth to that, even when you do a lot of upgrades and learning how to do that stuff yourself. So I truly believe that we've done very good work on Polar Steel, but there's a lot of stuff I'm going to go back this spring and fix and redo and modify. But I think the second time around, you just learn so much and you learn how to do things properly. And we take a lot of pride in doing it properly that, it would go better the second time around and it would work better. And there's new ideas. Plus it's a new boat and we just don't have a lot of time on another boat. And I think that would be exciting as well.
Bo and Brandy are here. Hi,
hey guys.
Barnacle says hi too. She's like, hello. Hey, Bo and Brandy. She's sleepy. I've disturbed her. Oh,
we had puppy training today and she was the sole student. And so she got an hour puppet training class, and I think it destroyed her. She
had a little bit of a training overload. Joe says bigger boat, bigger maintenance, bigger dock fees, bigger yard fees. Yes,
that's right.
It's absolutely true. But then again, the boat is our house, so it's what we pay in the boat. For us, it's like the rent that somebody would pay on their house normally. Okay. Hi, Bo and Brandy. It's good to see you.
Okay. Anything else? What else, guys?
Well,
We've talked about us enough.
We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. That is a long time. Okay. Eka says, I wish I had the energy to sail. I may put a van build together in the next year or two. Yeah, totally. Do it.
It does take a lot of energy to sail. Like, we've talked about that before. And it's like, I honestly don't know how, like, we see a lot of guys in their 60s and their 70s out doing it. And I'm impressed by that because I don't think I could do it in my, like, I'll be done by then. I think it takes so much energy. Yeah.
Random Roadster asks, how much more expensive annually would a 50 versus a 40 be? So usually what we see is that the price of the boat that you purchase, it usually the whole value of your boat, take 10 to 20%. And that ends up being the cost of ownership when you've paid insurance, dockage, maintenance, repairs. Usually you end up putting 10 to 20% of the whole value every year in the boat. So yeah, that would be the difference between 40 and 50. Especially, if we go to a 50 in our budget range, we would probably need to re-equip it and retrofit it with a lot of the equipment that we like having on board. So
Ronnie asks another VAT question on the boat. The specific question is, the boat's on the dry and on the hard in Belgium, comes straight from the US. VAT is paid there, not registered here yet. So I'm going to need to buy. Yeah, it gets complicated, and I'm not a tax expert, but I've done a lot of research in this. If you are not a European citizen or resident, and the boat is not going to be registered in Europe, you can keep the boat in Europe for 18 months without paying VAT. Now, how close they check that, I don't know. But if you are moving to Europe, you're supposed to have the boat registered in Europe, in which case you have to pay VAT. And in the US, we don't use a VAT system. It's just like sales tax. So there's no one-to-one translation over to it. You just have to repay it again. It's pretty crappy. It's not a great way. I wish I had better news for you. So there's a lot of strategies with boat ownership and paying of VAT, because in Europe, it can go anywhere from 18% to 25%, depending on which country you registered in or pay the import duty in. So yeah, not fun. Sam and Sydney asked about a larger Dakota lithium battery.
630 amp hour.
Just stand by, okay? That's all I can say.
Hold my beer.
That's all I can say. I saw some pictures today, so just stand by. It won't be that big, but it will be close.
When do you think you'll be too old to sail? Never.
I think the live aboard long-term cruising stuff.
You can see, probably. You can sail at any age. It's more a matter of the projects that you undertake. So at age, I don't know, maybe at 75, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do the Northwest Passage. That will be fun. I don't know. It's the sailing that you want to do, the projects that you undertake, the budget that you have to, the type of comfort that you have on board, because, it's one thing to sail a 30-footer in giant waves with very minimum equipment. It's a completely different thing to do it in a much bigger boat with crew and, so it really depends on the project that you're undertaking. So I don't think that we'll ever be too old to sail. You can always take the boat out and go for a spin. That counts as sailing. Yeah. Counts for me.
I don't think when we're older, we'll want to live full time, but who knows? Maybe we just get a comfy like trawler.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Why not? I could see myself on the trawler.
You hate the motors. You hate the engine.
Yeah, but it's different.
You hate the motor. There'll be two massive motors.
Brian, there is a trawler, okay, that has several floors, an engine room, and and then there is our 40 tiny little foot sailboat where the engine is in between the kitchen and the bedroom and in the middle of the living room.
All right, I got two questions here. One, somebody asked about music. do we fight over music?
No.
Well, the thing is I never
We
put
don't-
up
we
a
don't
big fight
fight-
about anything.
We don't fight because
But
Ryan has terrible taste, and there is no fighting about that. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna be in charge now.
No, that's okay. But one day Ryan forced me to watch The Bridges of Madison County. It's
because it's an Iowa movie.
It's an Iowa movie,
and the bridges are nice. It's a horrible movie, but
and now Ryan is banned from ever recommending movies.
Listen, guys, I'm trying to get her to watch Field of Dreams because I think she needs to watch that, but she refuses to. I kind of messed this whole order up, and because you haven't watched it yet, right?
I did, of course.
Oh,
I
you
did.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
All right.
Is it heaven?
Is this heaven?
Is this heaven? Iowa. No, it's Iowa. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
The other question I saw was insurance about the boat. We do have insurance. We have a European insurer, which makes things easier because I understand that getting insurance in the United States is not fun at the moment. It's with Spontaneous. It varies depending on it varies based on the region that we're in. So in the US right now, it's actually cheaper where we are than it was in the Caribbean by quite a bit. Right now we're paying about $500 a quarter for our insurance.
Yeah.
And in the Caribbean, and that includes like some extra that we have for personal equipment and stuff on board, which was helpful when Sophie's camera gear died this year. But in the Caribbean, the Caribbean and the ocean crossings, we pay about $850 a month for. So.
Yeah. Oh, that is yes. Okay. Field of Dream is having a moment in the comment section. Build it, they will come.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a good movie.
It's a feel-good movie. It's a movie for the ages.
It was a good movie. Yeah. Hello, Adventure Cruise. Happy holidays too. Go visit the movie set in Dyersville. That is a good idea.
We should do that before they destroy it, because I don't know if people know, but they've done the Field of Dreams game now the last 2 years in Dyersville, where they have a major league teams come and play, and now they're like going to build a whole baseball park. It's going to be like baseball Disneyland, and I think they're just going to ruin the whole thing because it was just the house and the movie set, and there's power lines going through the movie set, and it was cool. And every year they played an old-fashioned game there, but I think it's going to get ruined soon. So unfortunately.
Do you know what is the best thing to do when do you ever come out to Iowa's I-35, just a little friendly interstate rivalry? Okay, so fun fact, you guys, because now I moved to the United States, I had to get a US driver's license. So I am now an Iowa driver's license holder.
It's true.
And so I have driven on the I-35 a few times now.
She has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hello from Bainbridge Island. Oh yeah, that's where our friend Ben has his
sailing Bainbridge.
Bainbridge. How about health insurance? That's also a good question. So until now, until we moved to the United States, health insurance was cheap.
When we were in Europe, we were covered under the European system because we were both residents and citizens in EU, so we didn't pay anything. And then when we traveled, we would just buy like longer term health insurance, was pretty inexpensive. I think we'd pay like $1,000 a year for the two of us. But now that we're in the US, health insurance. So I get it through my company, and I pay for Sophie to be added onto it. And then that doesn't include our travel insurance. So we usually just take out a short policy wherever we are.
I am not super excited about American healthcare, you guys. It's I now have and I'm very grateful that I have the possibility to have a healthcare insurance, because I understand that in the United States not everybody has access to that, and it scares the shit out of me. But yeah, not super excited about that.
Okay, so there's an important question here. Do I like the movie Waterworld with Kevin Costner? That movie I think was fantastic, and it got people hate that movie. I think it's awesome.
I think that I watched it when I was very young, and it kind of scared me.
When it was out, it was the most expensive movie ever made, and it did horrible at the box office.
$2,600 a month for healthcare insurance.
So then there's some other questions about the boat. Somebody asked if we're getting help on a new boat. The answer is no. Like we're not pursuing.
What kind of help?
That's a good question, but we're just looking ourselves. We're not like pursuing, we're not getting help finding one, and we're not like pursuing any boat builders or anything.
You have to understand that until the end of September, we were dealing with the green card application, which took a lot of time, resources, energy, money. And really, that was a project. It took so much. We couldn't really project ourselves in anything else than just dealing with this green card. We are now now we're the course, the puppy. We are just landing back on our feet again a little bit, and we can think about the future and project ourselves a little further out. So we understand that, in the coming year or two, we're going to need to make a move to upgrade the boat, because that's what we want to do. But we haven't been able to make anything concrete happen yet. So
somebody asked what a dream boat was, which is no secret. We'll take anything from the Garcia yard because we love those boats, catamaran or the monos, but we can't really afford them because they start very expensive. So we probably, in all honesty, we'll probably just end up with a bigger production boat, like another Veneto.
Yeah.
So, which we also love. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Gosh, we are the least mysterious people in the world. I feel like a lot of creators are so good at creating mystery and anticipation and suspense, and I have, yeah. I don't do that. I can't. Anyways, by the way, I was just joking about Niagara Falls.
There's a Niagara Falls comment.
About
taking the boat
through the Niagara Falls.
Yeah, why not?
So we've been there. Our good friend Ben and Steve surprised me for my birthday to a visit to Niagara Falls, and it was amazing. And you know what I get to do? I get to change the colors of the Niagara Falls for my birthday.
This is a classic story.
And I made them hot pink.
We had some sailing friends that met us there for Sophie's birthday, and when we met them for dinner, they were like, yeah, so last night when we were here, we had a friend, he told us about this booth where there's a guy up there that controls the lights, and you can go up there and you can just play with the lights. So they went up there and they got there, and it was like super sketched. It was like a locked door with like a call box and stuff. So they were like, well, so they pushed the box, and then the guy calls, he's like, yeah,
I'm gonna show you a photo.
He was like, yeah, can I help you? He's like, yeah, well, we heard you can come up here and see the lights and stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, man, come on in. And it's just a guy, and it's his job is just to push buttons and change the lights, and he's retired, and this is what he does. So that's the control panel.
Okay, so that's the Niagara Falls being hot pink.
So you can actually you can do like a very expensive tour to go up there. It includes like dinner and go up there, but they only take you to the outside part, and there's like 3 buttons you can push, and it's like very anticlimactic. But we got to go on the inside part where there's all the big racks and the server things and like the big control panel, and you can make like American flags and Canadian flags. So we were talking to our friends about it, and we're like, well, let's go see if we can get Sophie up there for her birthday. So we went back the next night, and the guy remembered our friends, and he's like, oh, hey, come on in. So we all went in. He's like, I got a tour coming in a bit, but you can come hang out. So we just we're up there, and Sophie was playing with the buttons, and we got official certification. We got a
Lumineer.
We're Lumineers, and we got little pins.
It was an amazing
If you're ever at Niagara Falls, text us and we can give you the directions on how to get to the locked door, the secret locked door. It's very sketchy, but the guys I think up there are very nice.
So great.
So
okay. Oh, there's been a few questions. Oh, thanks, Tammy. That was really nice. You can turn the flow on and off or reduce it as well. Right. Okay, actually, serious question. If you had a big boat, like 70, 100 feet, does it become impossible from a maintenance point of view? Yeah, we could not afford that.
It would become impossible for the two of us, because I don't think we could even handle it.
At this point, you need a crew. And and if you sell the boat full time, you need a full time crew.
That's a big job, and then just stuff gets bigger and heavier, and it's more dangerous. So you got to have the loads are just way bigger. on a boat like that. So I think we've talked about it. I think 55 feet is our cutoff. I think 50 is manageable. So, but we.
Oh my God! So it is a real thing about the flow of the Niagara Falls. Shit. I'm gonna have to the flow of the Niagara Falls. I'm gonna have to research that.
What are you talking about?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's in the comment section, in the chat. Okay. Yeah, no. We never ever considered buying anything bigger than 60 foot, and even 60 foot, I think for us would be very difficult to manage. I don't think I would want that really. I think 50 would be good. We would love a catamaran, but well,
it's all cost.
Yeah, we could never afford that. All right, we've been on for over an hour and a half, honey.
So I think we're good unless anyone has stuff. There probably are some new people on the chat. So just another
4-hour show.
Let's make it a 4. You know, we could do a marathon one day where we have a bunch of stuff planned, but like this week before Christmas, probably not. We need to do it on like a weekend. I think we get a lot of people and it'd be a big party, and maybe we can set it up where we can bring other people on.
If we are getting a helipad, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Like
we have it for our drone.
Yeah, of course we get a helipad for a helicopter that big. Oh my God!
I think. So just for those who joined later, because I know we get a big mix. For those that we're gonna stop, I think, pretty soon. But for those who are interested, we did launch our course yesterday, and it's our course about how to get into sailing, and it's all the stuff we wish we would have known when we got into it. So if that's something that interests you or might interest a friend, Sophie's going to write the link in the chat again one more time right now. Go to brighttrip.com/sailing, or you can check out our new website, which we also just launched, which looks pretty amazing. And another shameless plug, I have all my t-shirts, which I've designed. This is one of them, though it's not on there yet. Maybe it is on there.
No, it's not.
It's my sailboat inside a whale.
No, because we only published the t-shirt that we had the time to take nice photos
Right.
of.
I actually have taken this and put it on a hat, and people love that hat. So we need to get that on the site too.
The polyfill. Oh no, the beanie. Yeah, it's a cute.
Sophie won't let me put the t-shirts on there unless we have real pictures with us instead of like the mock-ups, and I don't agree with that. Let you guys vote.
No, mock-ups are so impersonal and terrible.
So
nah. Puget Sound, Alaska. Sometimes. Why not? You know.
I think if we go to Japan, we'll actually end up going up that way to get back.
Yeah, you know, it's fun because my biggest sailing ambition is sailing to Japan. It's still, you know, I hold it dear, and we haven't. It's not lost. It's not a dream that's lost. We're still talking about it. We just, I think, need to get there in terms of our life and schedule. And it's a bit of a midterm plan. It's like several years ahead of planning. So we just need to get there. All right, everybody.
Wish everybody a good holidays,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you know, all the stuff. Yeah, lots of stuff going on this time of year. Hope everybody stays safe.
Yes.
Especially those in the Midwest that are going to get pummeled by the storm.
We're going to get Barney to say bye-bye.
Barnacle said she was just sleeping, so we woke her up so she could say goodbye.
Oh, Barnacle, you're so sleepy,
and
girl.
thanks, everybody, for supporting us and coming out and having this chat with us. We hope to get geared back up on the channel again soon.
Yes.
But again, thanks for the lively conversation. It was great to be back. I'm glad we could show you Barnacle.
Yeah. Say hi, bye, Barnacle. Bye.
She's so tired.
I feel bad. Oh my God, look at that. She's like,
All right, guys. Thanks again. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. We'll see you in 2023.
Yeah. See you in 2023.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.